Howdy farmhands, this is Sarah, your friendly farmhand guide, and I just wanted to give a little update today about what's happening in the garden for those of you who maybe weren't able to join us for the potluck. So I'll do a little tour and then I'll give you a few announcements that we made at the potluck. So we'll start all the way on the right here like we did last time. Our fennel plants are doing really well. One of the things that you'll notice if you get real close is we actually have multiple fennel plants all growing together. So if you're someone who likes fennel and is interested in using some in your salads or your juices, you can actually pull out the whole fennel plant starting with the roots, which is going to give more room for the other fennel plants to grow and spread out. So all of these here, the bronze fennel you can use exactly the same way that you would use green fennel, and then the green fennel at the back here is also ready for use. Coming over to this bed, our cucumbers are producing. We've harvested from them twice now. Oh, actually, looks like we might have even missed one that's ready to grow. There he is. So whoever watches this video and gets to come first, actually he could even use a couple more days, because if you look at the very top, he's still a little skinny, which means he could grow for another couple of days, or you could harvest him now. There's another one here. Where is he? There you go. So whenever you're over here, you can also see that we trellised the cucumbers. So they're climbing up the gate now. Cucumbers like to climb up. So just stop by here. The other thing that's in high production is our squashes. So you can see this is a pretty little yellow squash if you're comparing it to my hand. It's still edible at that point. It'll be like your Trader Joe's baby squash, real flavorful and small, or you can wait for it to be a little bit bigger. General rule is about 6 inches is the right size. This little tiny one that still has its flowers attached, you wouldn't want to harvest that yet. It wouldn't do anything for you. The other thing that's been really exciting and a brand new development is all of our zinnias that we planted a few weeks ago are now in bloom, and they can be cut and harvested to take home for your kitchen or your dining room table. These tomatoes will be staking. This is a very exciting announcement. Here, these are sun gold tomatoes. So at their ripest point, they are actually orange. You can see that one there. See, he just popped right off, which means he's ready. So keep your eye out in this bed, bed E, for our sun gold tomatoes and our green grapes. If you're coming this Saturday, Gloria is going to be with you, and you guys are going to tomato cage these and shade them, which we'll talk about in a minute. Around the corner here, we have lots more squash. We harvested one giant squash. Once they're growing, when we're in heat like this, they'll get huge in like 2 or 3 days. And then I didn't know this, but we planted one variegated squash. See how that's green and white? It will not turn yellow. So that's exciting. Our watermelons are starting to take off. Please make sure you water these when you come. All the cement beds definitely do need watering. You can see everything is loving the heat. The strawberries have taken off, gotten a lot larger. All of the peppers are producing. Every pepper plant, if you stop by, you'll see that they're producing. Even our little squash plants that I was so worried about are now putting out squash for us. We harvested 4 squash from these plants, and there'll be more coming up. There's one. So get ready, it's squash season. Our herb beds are still looking good. Please feel free to take home pineapple sage, making some herb water, spa water, and then the parsley's really ready to go too. So if you wanted to harvest parsley, you would just find kind of the thick, strong stems like this one, and then harvest as much as you would be able to utilize. You'll notice over here that our cilantro has, quote, gone to seed. It makes a really beautiful baby's breath flower, and you can see that the bees are very attracted to these flowers. We're going to go ahead and let them go all the way up to coriander, so we'll just keep letting them mature. But if we want to plant more cilantro, we definitely can, so let me know your thoughts on that. Also, the basil is taking off, so you can see how large this basil plant is, how large that basil plant is, and then all the way down, all those green poking out, That's basil that's ready to be harvested. If for any reason you're nervous about knowing how to harvest your basil, let's see here. You would grab the stem, and you basically just want to pick, let's see if I can get it in the shade, it's a little easier to see. You want to pick right above the leaf line, not right below it, right above the leaf line. And you can just snap it off. And then the 2 leaves that we've left behind will become the new plant structure going up. So those are delicious. Oh, and then what else do you notice that's totally different in the garden? Big black blobs. So if you were at the potluck, our very first ripe tomato was half eaten by a bird. So we went ahead and put some bird netting or shade cloth over the tomato plants, but that doesn't mean you can't harvest from them. So feel free to come in, and you may not be able to see it very good on the video, but you can see through and look for the tomato plants and then just pull up from the bottom and then harvest the tomatoes. And there are gackles of tomatoes on these plants. There will be so many tomatoes to eat. So keep coming by. In the next week or 2, they should start ripening. Here you can see through pretty easily. So they're all growing and getting ready to go. Of course, as usual, our mint is ready to go. You guys got to start drinking more mojitos. I think that's about it. The last thing that I wanted to highlight, because I know how important it is to Gloria, before you guys came, Farmer Josh and Farmer Gloria planted these sunflowers for you guys, and they are stunning. Definitely over 10 feet tall, maybe over 12 feet tall, just shining their beautiful faces towards the sun. So I wanted you guys to check that out. The other thing you can look for is the gerbers that we planted a few weeks ago are just starting to flower, so those can be cut and taken home for your home as well. I think that's it. Oh, I will be texting people. If it's very hot an hour before your shift, I will send a text and let you guys know that we're not gonna be meeting. So Friday night we canceled a shift. It was 98 degrees at 4 p.m. And it wasn't supposed to be below 95 till after 7. So I apologize if I didn't get a hold of you prior. I did try to send out a text. One last exciting development. We have our whiteboard up and going. Oh, I have you zoomed in here. Zoom out. I'm gonna put it down to the side right over there. But this has a little list of to-dos and supplies. So if at any point you feel like, you know what we really need? We need X. Feel free to put it on the supply list, and then if I think it is something that we need, we'll go ahead and get it. And then on the to-do list, that's everything that needs to be done in the garden for now. If you have questions, you can text me, and we'll just keep building on that list as time goes on. That's it from the garden for now. If you have any questions, you can call or email me. Looking forward to seeing you out in the garden. Farm on.